my goodness. Oh, it's so hot. I can't take it anymore. Oh, jeez. Please. Oh, Elizabeth, I'm coming for you. Oh, it's so hot. Can I get some water? Please. Oh, my goodness.
You need a swig, buddy?
Oh, my goodness. Please set it down. Oh, here we go. Oh, look at that. Oh,
there we go.
My
It's hot,
goodness.
man.
I don't know how to survive.
Go get some of that. Go ahead. Woodward Sports Network. This is the bottom line. I am Ryan Ermanni. Wait, it's so hot. I forgot who the hell I was.
Partner, thank you so much. Oh, here we go, baby. That's right. Wednesday, June 15th, 2022. Ermanni and Edwards. Bottom line, Woodward Sports Network. So glad to have you back in the saddle, my friend. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you.
I appreciate it. Like I was telling you earlier, when I was walking in, my key didn't work, so I thought maybe I got in fire, but I jiggled it a little bit. The door did open. What's going on, buddy?
You, baby. I have missed you so much. I'll tell you.
It's been 4 shows now.
I know, because
Friday.
Thursday, Friday. Yep. Well, Thursday we were out on the road.
Right, we're on the road.
Cars and cigars. Friday I had off.
Yesterday
Monday
and the day before.
Tuesday you had off. And look, part of this is it's summer, right? I mean, we've got things going on, and now's the time to get your days in, because come football season, baby, it is on. And look,
August 1st, baby.
It's on now too, but it's a little bit more of a leisurely on, right? I mean, we're having some fun, but boy, Braylon, I'll tell you.
I don't know how I did it yesterday, man. Monday.
So you've been playing golf.
Yeah, so been playing a couple different outings, trying to bring in some people to Woodward Sports too. So it was for work purposes as well as leisure at the same time. A little business, a little pleasure. But yesterday at the LPGA Meyer event, Simply Give, it was blazing hot. I'm talking about played at Egypt Valley. It's 6,800 yards for the course. Average course in Michigan is about 5,700 or so. I finally understand what Tiger Woods is going through, not from a good standpoint, but from his knee injury to a hilly injury in terms of walking the hills, walking Augusta, why he pulled out of Memorial, why he won't be playing this week. It was miserable. My knee injury, while I stopped playing football, started hurting. I'm walking up the hills and down the hills and up they had a lot of high greens, a lot of walking up there. That knee gave out, mixed in with that heat. Shoot, after 9 holes, I said, look, man, we're not winning this thing, so I wouldn't be opposed if you guys just turn it in now.
I don't think you'd be able to play golf today. Not that you do play golf ever, Tom Mazawey. Good afternoon to you, by the way. But if you did play golf,
why would I want to?
If you did play golf, today would not be the day to do it.
I wouldn't even leave my house today if I didn't have to. Actually, I would. I would just go right into my pool. What a perfect day to be in the water.
It's too hot to be in the pool today,
no,
man.
No, it's a great day to be in the pool.
I don't know about that. As soon as you get out of the pool, man, you're going to get heat burned.
It's funny you said that, Maz, because I got my hair tightened up today by my girl Becca. Ooh-wee. By the way, I'll tell you, I got that hot lather neck shave and the scalp massage today.
Yeah.
I told her if I could have, today would have been the day to call in sick or to take the day off, close the blinds, close the drapes, keep the light out, keep the heat out, turn on the air conditioning, order pizza, and watch movies all day long.
Oh,
I would be more than content doing that.
You know what debuted today?
Hold on, whoa.
I already gave it away.
What, Rocky?
Rocky 2.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Yep.
Is that?
I just tagged you on Twitter.
Really?
Rocky 2.
Is that something?
Oh, my God, I love that movie.
So he finally wins the title.
Yeah.
Oh, was that movie great.
Oh, sorry, spoiler alert. He finally wins the title.
So, did you know, speaking of Rocky 2, a little insider action, Talia Shire was shooting another movie.
Godfather.
At the time. I believe it was The Godfather.
Godfather Part 2.
It might have been The Godfather.
Godfather Part 2.
During the filming of Rocky 2. And that is why she is not at the fight in Rocky 2.
Oh,
they had to shoot separate scenes because
she's at the hotel.
Because she's at her apartment. She's at their place.
Well, she had the baby. She stayed home with the baby.
She stayed home with the baby, and that was the
movie magic.
That was the storyline to make her not at, because she couldn't make it to the filming of the actual fight
wish
scenes.
You could be there, Adrian.
Yeah, she couldn't make it to the filming of the fight scenes because she was filming something else. So that's what they did.
They let you know who has the real stroke, which is Godfather. They say, I don't care nothing about this Rocky movie. You better be on set.
Which, by the way, Rocky at the time was the movie of the year in '77 Oscars.
So good.
But nonetheless, Rocky was a phenomenon at the time. But yeah, that's why Talia Shire was not at.
I didn't know that.
The fight scene in Rocky 2. She had to stay home with the baby.
You're gonna eat lightning, you're going to crap thunder.
Want to welcome in Jamil Taylor as well. He is sitting in at the show today here at Woodward Sports. Jamil is the son of former Michigan quarterback Michael Taylor.
Yes, sir.
I remember him.
When I was a kid, Michael Taylor was the quarterback that I remember at Michigan. I never knew Jim Harbaugh played quarterback in Michigan. I just thought he was the Bears quarterback.
Oh, he'll remind you of it.
But I'm talking about growing up.
Right.
Growing up, it was Bo Schembechler and Michael Taylor, and then a mix-in of Demetrius Brown here and there, and then you go on. But pleasure to have Jamil in the house. Jamil
100%.
just graduated from college in this field, so we're just kind of showing him the ropes here today. And
who better to show him the ropes than you, man?
Well,
you and Maz, you guys have been in this industry for a very long time. Jamil, take all the advice you can get from these two guys. They've been in this industry a very long time.
Hey, my buddy just sent me a picture. He's at Kroger in St. Clair Shores.
Yeah, which one?
I'm trying to find out.
Do they have Centron?
They do, but you know who's there? Charles Woodson.
Oh, wow.
Get out of here.
Yeah, Charles Woodson's there.
Charles Woodson is at the Kroger in St. Clair Shores?
St. Clair Shores.
That must mean he's doing something with one of his wines
Let me
or
see.
one of his liqueurs.
Oh, yeah.
Wines and liquors. He might get his wines and liquors in Kroger now. That wouldn't be something special.
Oh, that would be something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Woodson. Let me see what it says here.
Look at that.
Yeah, Woodson whiskey.
Ooh,
I told
wait.
you.
Woodson bourbon whiskey.
Yep.
How about that?
Look
in
at
the
that.
Kroger.
In little old St. Clair Shores.
Isn't that something?
In the Shores.
In the shoes. So good. By the way, today, one of the reasons why I got tightened up today was picture day at Woodward Sports Network. And
Look good, man.
so where we are here at the facility at 15 and Woodward in Birmingham, big building. We're on the first level. In the fourth level, there's Morgan Stanley and all that stuff. Then
Best bathroom in town.
Is that right?
The best.
I've heard you go
The
up there
best.
quite often.
You have to have we all have meetings up there.
Right.
all
So, nonetheless, Braylon, I get here and Stick says, "Hey, just head on up when you're ready."
Yeah.
And I said, "Head up where?" Because I thought we'd just do it in the back.
Yeah.
And he says, "Well, we're on the fourth floor. Justin's on the fourth floor taking pictures." I said, "Okay, nice. Are there stairs?" He said, "Are there what?" I said, "Are there stairs?" I said, well,
I know where this is going.
Just take the elevator. I said, "I can't. I have a strict rule. If it's 5 floors or below,
You're walking.
I'm walking. I'm taking the stairs." Now, I will say,
I found that out when we were at Hall Financial.
yeah.
We walked down the steps. I was like, let's see, hop on the elevator. He was like,
No
I said,
way.
I'll walk with you.
So I walked up the stairs, and it was like you had to walk 2 flights up to get to 1 flight. So, like, you go 2 levels of stairs, and that's 2. 2 more, and that's 3. 2. So you're essentially going 6 floors.
So we could have taken the elevator then.
Oh, man, I might have and should have taken the elevator, but I couldn't do it. Thanks to you for walking down with me on
Not a
this
problem.
hot
I
day.
had to catch up with my buddy, man. Like you said, it's been a couple days since we've been together. So, and not to mention, the AC in the hallway was amazing on the stairs.
I'm telling
It
you.
was amazing. It's the best AC, man. It's the best AC in the building is walking up and down those stairs. I won't be using the elevator anymore.
If you do need to calm
us
down
off.
today, you did shut us off. I don't think we're heard right now.
Shut us all off.
There
There,
There
we
you
go.
go.
Yeah.
Careful,
There
Sam.
go.
You know he's too slow. He's got the sleeves, he's got the guns
Yeah.
out. He's a little
Easy.
slow.
He-
Right?
He's doing a project for me right now.
He's hitting buttons.
He's
but
doing a project for me.
I will say, though, there's something about stairwells that they are the coolest place to be on. Why is that? Is that because of the air?
The
got me.
hollowness in there. I mean, what is there? It's just stairs, metal, and windows.
I mean, seriously, yeah, there's no windows, I guess, to kind of get the heat. Either way, big show
There
for
you
you
go.
today. Hey, if you are watching on YouTube, we certainly appreciate it. Go ahead and hit that like button for us. Smash that like button for us. Let's see if we can get to over 25
I tell you
by
what.
the end of the next segment.
They should be watching us and stare at the Tigers. Oh, my God.
5-0.
I
to
started
Detroit.
Alex
At the
Faedo
bottom
today.
of the third. It's
I
already
know
freezing.
better.
Yeah.
I started Alex Faedo on my fantasy team today.
He's been playing
I
decent,
know
though, for the
better.
year, though. He's
Why
been
would you
pretty
do
good,
that?
Because the kid's pitching great. By the way, go to a break quick because when we come back, I've got a great surprise for our listening audience and for you two clowns.
Very good.
Excuse the
All
hell
right,
out of
we'll
me.
do that next. Maz's great surprise from Clown City over here. Ermanni and Edwards, but first a message from Guardian Alarm. They are your local security experts, have been for over 90 freaking years. Man. Give you peace of mind, whether you're at home or on the road. They're 24/7 local monitoring. Make sure what is important to you is safe. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT for peace of mind. That number again, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Right now. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you. We'll be right back. Massive surprise.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Braylon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Glad that we can finally start trying to get the stigma off of mental health that's been there for all these years.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey, enjoying a very hot and steamy Wednesday afternoon in the city of Detroit. It has come to my attention that we have the greatest Piston of all time.
Damn sure my favorite.
On the phone right now. Is it true that Isaiah Thomas is on the phone with us right now? Isaiah?
How you guys doing?
Zeke.
And I am honored, and it's a pleasure to talk to all of you.
Isaiah, I cannot tell you how great of a pleasure this is to me. You are, sir, the reason why I am a sports fan. Just the will to win that you had growing up with the Bad Boys and watching that team grow, watching you guys come together, overcoming every obstacle, and then ultimately winning a championship in my younger years is why I do what I do now. The impact that the Bad Boys and you personally have had on my life is immeasurable, and I just want to thank you. I love you, Isaiah.
Well, thank you, and I love you too, and I love Detroit, and I must return the compliment and the favor, because we as a team, as you know, during those years of trying to climb the ladder, we had our ups and our downs, but the community, the fans, and the way everyone treated us, and the way everyone inspired us, really gave us the courage to continue to go out and compete and work as hard as we did. So, we thank the fans, and we thank all of you just as much as you helped us. We tried to help you also.
I appreciate my boy Tom Mazawey for getting Zeke on the phone. I've known Zeke literally my whole life. He knows my father, Stanley Edwards. I've always been around. Zeke definitely knows. He's my favorite Detroit Piston of all time, favorite point guard of all time as well. Last time I saw Zeke, I think we both were living at the Ritz-Carlton in Coconut Grove, and we had a quick exchange.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, we had a quick exchange as I was sitting down eating dinner, man. So how you been, Isaiah?
I am doing great. And say hello to Pops for me. He was always good to us and good to me, especially when I got to Detroit. I always had some wise words and some good advice.
Hey, Isaiah, I wanted to ask you, we have been reflecting over the last couple of days about your Bad Boys championship teams. A couple of days ago was the anniversary of beating the Lakers. Then I believe yesterday was the anniversary of beating the Blazers. Around this time, do you reflect back? I know you had an opportunity to host a show with John Sally. I'm sure that was a lot of fun. But do you reflect back around this time every year?
Absolutely. Every time the NBA finals come up, you think about the years that you had, the times that we played, and then we also have a Pistons group chat where Bad Boy group chat where we all we talk and we say hello, we communicate, we we remember these times very fondly. So especially around the finals, we always have discussions because our names and our team always comes up because of some of the right we set and the things that we did as a team collectively and also individually.
Are we still good?
The phone sounds.
Yeah, that's not me. That's on y'all end.
Excuse us. My apologies there.
Oh
Talking
my
to
God.
Isaiah Thomas, who
Sounded like a robot. Isaiah.
It did, right? It's like you switched to Megatron. No.
Yeah, that's not me. That's on your end.
No, we got you, Zeke. Talking to Isaiah Thomas, who just this past All-Star game was a member of the 75 greatest players of all time. On that list, Zeke, was nobody from the 2004 Going to Work Pistons team. And we here were trying to say that somebody should have been on it. Maz said that Ben Wallace should have been on the list. What do you think about that team being the only team that did not have a representative of NBA champions on the team?
You know, I lived and I experienced, most of my adult life in Detroit. My teenage years were, Chicago, Indiana, but my adult years are Detroit. And I can firmly say the way our Pistons teams and the way Detroit as a city has been treated. And when I got there, I heard Mayor Coleman Young talking about the perception of Detroit and the lack of respect that Detroit has always gotten from the national media. And when I look at what has happened, with the NBA and also the national media around the Pistons franchise, teams, organization, for all that we have contributed to the game, I feel that we don't get the respect for. And when you look at what Detroit has contributed to the world, I'm going to say this again, what Detroit has contributed to the world, when you look at the automobile space, when you look at the music industry, you can't talk about America. You can't talk about the improvements that have gone on across the world without including Detroit. And I don't think you can talk about NBA basketball, the history of it, without including our Pistons teams in the organization. So, I think there's a lack of respect, and I stand and I fight for Detroit every day. That's why I'm on Twitter, on Instagram, hollering "Let it be known," because when I was there as a player, and now that I'm not in uniform, I still fight for Detroit every single day.
Isaiah, it's funny you say that, because just yesterday we were having this discussion, because as a Detroiter, it burns me when they show, just the network show championship montages of the great teams of the past, and you see Kobe and Magic and Larry and Michael and
Shaq
and Tim freaking Duncan and all.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Tim Duncan. Where's Isaiah Thomas?
You almost said it.
It's mind blowing to me that your bad boys are the only team to beat Michael, to beat Larry, to beat Magic. And I just don't get it. Do you have any understanding or reason why there's almost an omission of the Pistons? We're one of 6 or 7 maybe franchises in the NBA history to win 3 or more titles.
6.
You can either say it's done on purpose, or you can say it's an accident. But for those of us who represent and talk Detroit, we see it as a blatant, purposeful omission. And again, I look at all in the 80s, right? There's only 2 teams that won back-to-back championships when you talk about the golden era of basketball. That was the Los Angeles Lakers and the Detroit Pistons. There was only 2 teams that won back-to-back when you talk about that golden era in the 80s. Now, when you get to the 90s, there's 2 teams that won back-to-back 3 teams. There was the Rockets, the Bulls, and then the Lakers.
Mm-hmm. Incredible.
But when you talk about the 80s, there was only the dominance in the 80s came from our team, the Celtics, the Lakers, and then if you go in the early 80s, then you got to include Dr. J and the 76ers.
100%. Isaiah, I've heard you say at times that Magic Johnson's your favorite point guard of all time, and then I've heard Magic reciprocate that, say you're his favorite point guard of all time. Moving into tonight with Steph Curry going to close out, not tonight, tomorrow, excuse me, what do you think will happen when Steph wins tomorrow night, wins the MVP, now he has his 4th title and his first MVP? What does that catapult him to in terms of the best point guards of all time? In your mind, my favorite point guard of all time.
And I am honored to even be in a discussion, 30 years later, with some of the present-day players like a Steph Curry, who has had such an amazing career, and if he wins, will be catapulted into another stratosphere of rankings, which he deservedly should have. The point guard of today is different than the point guards in my era. What we were responsible for and what we always had to try to achieve, what Magic and I, achieved at the point guard position, we had to have perfect balance, and the perfect balance between scoring and also assisting. So we came to the game with a hat on that not only did we have to score the basketball, but we also had to assist. And in those 2 categories, right, that was the demand of the champion point guard play at that position. Now today, fast forward, the point guard position is really only required to score the basketball. He's not required to come in and be a leader in assists. I think I'm the only point guard in the history of the game that's won back-to-back championships, leading his team in scoring and assist. That hasn't been done before. And if Curry wins tonight or wins his next championship, he'll be put in another, category. And for this era of play, what the point guard position is required to do in terms of scoring the basketball, he's by far the best at it.
Zeke, I know you got to run to NBA TV, and we appreciate your time, man. I thank you so much for coming on. Before we let you go, the NBA draft coming up, what's the best player for the Pistons to draft at number 5?
It's a lot of them.
You're gonna have somebody to choose from.
Can we get 2 of them at number 5?
Hey, Isaiah, just a thought on the Pistons and Cade Cunningham. Is he the guy that is going to help take this franchise to compete for championships in the future? Do you believe in him? Do you like him?
I believe in Cade. I like him. I have faith in him, and here's why. Because he fits our Detroit formula for winning. And our formula in winning in Detroit is different than the rest of the NBA. We come to the table defense first, and we play unselfishly. We play as a team. Hey, what a concept, right? And Cade fits the criteria that we like to see in Detroit and how we win in Detroit. Cade is an unselfish player. He understands how to win. And then he's a great teammate. He's not running around hollering me, 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 me. He's running around hollering we. And that's how you win in Detroit. And it's acceptable for the Pistons to win that way. It may not be acceptable in other cities, and maybe the national media may not like the concept of team, but in Detroit, we value team, and we understand that's how you win.
Amen to that. Hey, Isaiah, last thing before you go, and I know you got to run. Braylon brought up Magic Johnson. I love the fact, like when you guys embraced, I think it was like that ESPN special that you guys came together, and now I saw you again on the I Am Magic on Apple. I love that you guys are friends again, and maybe you never stopped being, or whatever the case may be. But when you guys embraced and were crying a year or 2 or 3 years ago, whenever that special was, I was crying with you guys. I just think that was like a metaphor for life. That no matter what transpires, that you will always be boys with your boys, and I love that. I'm so glad you and Magic are back.
I loved it too, and what Magic and I did, before the finals, right, where we would hug and we would embrace, give each other a kiss, right? Mm-hmm. If you remember back during those times, it wasn't cool for men to show emotion.
Totally
they wasn't
unheard
supposed
of.
to hug. It was supposed to be like, cold handshake. And, now everybody, when you see your boy, you like grab him, give him a hug. Yeah. Hey, what's up? So we broke the ice there. I did not, and I don't think he knew how powerful that moment was going to be for us, breaking down, crying on TV, and then embracing again. And showing, the world how relationships can break and can be mended and come back. I didn't realize how powerful that moment was until walking through the airport, the next day, and, a woman grabbed me and said, I watched the interview, and I hadn't spoke to my 8th grade friend for years, and I picked up the phone and I called her, and she and I are now back together as friends. And so that moment just, it was a powerful moment, I think, for everybody, and it definitely was a powerful moment for he and I. So I'm glad you brought that up on this call, because we understand how important and how powerful Magic Johnson is to the state of Michigan. So it was a good moment for all of us.
Sports life, man. It's just it's so great. It's so great because it's when sports and real life intersect that really make the impact. Mr. Isaiah Thomas, the greatest Piston of all time, the Hall of Famer, 2-time NBA
greatest
champion.
PG of all time.
Such a thrill of a lifetime to speak with you, sir. Can't wait to do it again soon.
Hey, can't wait to talk to you guys soon, and keep repping Detroit. We need it.
Yes, sir.
Same to you. Same to you. Isaiah Thomas and Tom Mazawey. I think we thank you, sir. What a thrill.
That's the man.
My pleasure.
Sometimes in this job, you just kind of take a step back and you're like, "Whoa, I just talked to Isaiah Thomas today."
Yeah.
Like, how cool is that? Is that something or what?
It was like I asked my question. I really didn't want to talk. I really just wanted to ask my question and let him talk and let you guys talk and ask questions and just observe. And it was special. Like, I've known Isaiah, like I said, my whole life. My dad known him. I remember back in the day when he had Isaiah Thomas Technologies. I remember those. I remember when he used to do the camps. I remember when he used to do the events at Joe Louis Arena. He used to have the event that he'd do every year. I remember those moments. But now I'm older and I can look back on those moments. I can look back at him and just listen to his conviction. My mom texted me and she said, listening to him talk about Detroit, his love for Detroit, a Chicago-born kid that came here and made a home. That was a real special thing, man. I'm still a little taken back.
I remember a regular season game watching in Jersey in my basement TV. Bernard King against Isaiah Thomas at Joe Louis Arena on that court with the red, thing. I think they each went for 60, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it was like an 140 to 138 or something like that. It was
highest scoring game, and I think it was like 154 to like 147.
It was high. Yeah, it was just
until the Nuggets played or something like that.
Yes.
Guys, we're going to come back, take a break, recap a little bit of that Isaiah interview. Some great things there about Cade Cunningham as well. We'll do that next, but first a message from Gypsy Vodka.
I got to find my tongue and find some words real quick, man. Home of the Mulligan, that's what Gypsy Vodka is. Not only do they have alcohol, not only do they have vodka, not only do they have their bourbon, but now they have the Mulligan. That's right, 8% alcohol, iced tea, lemonade vodka, and strawberry lemonade as well. Get on the golf course. Maybe not today. A little too hot to go out there and golf and drink Mulligan on the golf course, but tomorrow, next week, will be a little bit better. Join Gypsy Vodka with the Mulligan. But if you're going to drink responsibly.
Hi, I'm Cade Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhawfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard.
Corner, jumper,
Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Bedrock and Rocket Mortgage basically turn an old parking lot into a massive outdoor playground right next to Campus Martius. There's roller skating, basketball courts, a mini golf course, food trucks, live music performances, as well as art installations. It's such a fun place to visit, whether you're on a date, with the family, or hanging out before a Tigers game. With the family. And they even got Wi-Fi, so you can take your computer and work in the heart of the city. You only have to pay for roller skating and food, but everything else is free. For more information and midway hours, go to deckedoutdetroit.com. That is deckedoutdetroit.com.
So we just had Isaiah Thomas on. If you are watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button for us. Incredible stuff there from Isaiah, who is just about to go on NBA TV right now. Just so generous to hop on with us. And Tom Mazawey, thank you for making that happen. One of the intriguing parts about it, many intriguing parts about it, and I'll get to the current day Pistons, but the previous Pistons, the old school Pistons, you know, he does say it is a blatant disrespect. It is a blatant omission.
The NBA hated the Pistons.
But I understand that. But over 30 years, don't you think you've grown to appreciate that group?
No, because those guys whined so much. The Birds, the Magics, the
Trailblazers.
Yeah, they all whined so much. The Michael Jordans. They finally got their way and got rid of the Pistons. They got rid of their way of play, and they got their way. That's just the way it was.
I hate that, and I do love Isaiah back out on NBA TV and back in NBA circles, kind of, you know, preaching Detroit's praises, really.
Let me take a step back and answer the first thing you said. I think part of it has to do with this. If you look at the Raiders, they hated the way the Raiders played. Now, the NFL is a different game. The NFL was very violent. The Steelers played that way as well. I get that. But they hated the Raiders. They hated the black hole. They hated Al Davis. But I think Al Davis lasted the test of time. I think he was able to advocate and lobby for his Raiders for years and years to come. And eventually the Raiders were accepted. You look back at those Raiders teams, and they talk about the Raiders dominating the 70s. They talk about the Howie Longs. They give the Raiders their just due. I think that's because the owners lobby for them in the public for years and years upon years until, rest in peace, Al Davis is no more. But I think we didn't have that. I think Bill Davidson was a quiet guy, kind of let the media be what the media was, and we just won on the court. But then after it was over, kind of just disappeared and it went away. I think that's the big thing, is Al Davis was able to continue to lobby for them for decades afterward, whereas we didn't get that out of Bill Davis.
First team, the Raiders are still hated. Look what happened with John Gruden. It's still to this day.
True, but they don't like John Gruden as well, though.
The Raiders are hated, but the
They're
NFL
loved, though.
uses the Raiders to their advantage because they prop up the Raiders any chance they get because they know what that silver and black means, right?
It means money and dollars.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you think this will be 2 years in a row that they opened up Monday Night Football at Allegiant Stadium?
Silver and plus black equals green. And the NFL knows that. Without question, the NFL knows that.
They've been sticking their middle finger up at the NFL. No, you can't move. Yeah, I can move, and I will move.
And in fact,
4 times.
In that 30 for 30 documentary with the Pistons, who was the partnership in the NBA? The Pistons and the Raiders shared
the jerseys. I mean, the cartoon characters, they did that. Yeah, the Bad Boys.
And they traded back uniforms. And, you know, the Pistons sent Raiders uniforms. The Raiders sent the Pistons uniforms. Yeah. And I think there was even a Pistons silver and black uniform.
The cartoon shirt, too, is why I had one.
That was made because of the old Oakland Raiders back in the day. So I totally understand what you mean in that. And then another aspect of this, which I am happy with, because if there's one thing that Isaiah is not afraid to do, Isaiah will tell you the truth. Yeah. Isaiah will tell you how he feels about somebody. And the fact that he really, really likes Cade Cunningham makes me feel a whole hell of a lot better about the deal.
The one thing, too, I have to appreciate about Isaiah, my homeboy Max texted me as Isaiah was talking, is the way in which Isaiah has gotten just amazingly better in terms of describing the game, in terms of his knowledge of the games, in terms of what's going on now. His breakdown when I asked him about the point guards, I said Magic. He says, you're his favorite of all time. You say Magic is the best of all time. Let's talk about Steph, blah, 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 blah. The way in which he broke down what they were asked to do in the 80s, what they were asked to do at the position in the 90s, versus what Steph, John Wall, I don't know why that name came up, but Steph and Chris Paul and the point guards today, what they're asked to do, Russell Westbrook, much different than what they were asked to do in the 80s and 90s. And I think he broke it down very exceptionally because he didn't put himself over Steph, or he didn't put Magic over Steph. He says different eras. This is what we were asked to do. This is what he's asked to do. And in this era, there's nobody close. I love the answer.
I'll take my hat off to Ryan yesterday. He schooled me. I mean, I thought Steph Curry was by far ahead of Zeke on points scored, but it turns out they're close on points scored, and Zeke way more assists per game than Steph. Not way more, but more.
But he's more, yeah.
Almost 50% more.
Yeah.
And it is one of those things, though, too, because as Isaiah said, back then in that era, the point guard was a different job.
It was.
You had to get everybody involved. Now, Steph Curry can just get the ball and shoot it. He doesn't have to get Draymond Green involved.
And you play D.
And yet you had to play D back in the day.
If you're a point guard back then in the 80s and 90s, your job is to get the ball into the big man. Your job is to get the ball into the big man. If the big man's not there, it's to dribble around, pass it to the wing, pass it to the big man to get it back to the open shooter. That's what John Stockton and those guys did so well at Utah. You got to get the guy on the wing open, or you give the ball to the big man. Now, the point guard is the big man in today's NBA.
Guys, the Tigers are losing 7-0 in the fourth inning. Just getting
from Isaiah to that.
Just getting terribly worked here by the Chicago White Sox. We're going to get into some baseball and just how bad the Detroit Tigers are this year. Some staggering numbers. We'll have it for you. At what point is enough enough? We'll talk about that coming up next. But first, a message from MyBookie.
NHL Stanley Cup Final starts tonight in Denver, Colorado. The Avalanche well rested. Are they too rested tonight? I like the Lightning tonight. Can they three-peat? We'll find out. Get on mybookie.ag and use the promo code Woodward. They're going to give you free money. Whatever you put in up to $1,000, they're going to double it for you. That's free money in your account. Do whatever you want with it. Put $1,000 in, you're getting $1,000 back. Put $100 in, you're getting $100 back. Tomorrow, Game 6 of the NBA Finals in Boston. The Warriors up 3-2, trying to put the Celtics to sleep. Can they do that? Baseball tonight. You got the Yankees and Nestor on the hill tonight. Who are you going to play in that game? Go to Woodward Sports on the promo code. Bet anytime, anything, right there with mybookie.ag. If you have a gambling problem, please use the Michigan Problem Gambling Hotline, 1-800-270-7117.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991, yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. I want to get Brian Mosallam on today. Can we get him on today, Maz?
Why not?
Can we get him on today? He's got a meeting here today in the building. We're going to get him on.
Come on up.
We are coming. We saw your comments that you made the other day.
Oh, we got to talk about this.
We are coming. Just like Tuck is. You're going to catch that knife like a knife. Tuck coming? You're right.
After your 2 in a row, we got nothing to say right now.
He's coming.
After your meeting, we got to grab you. Come on in. Brian Mosallam inside the locker room here on Woodward Sports Network.
Okay. Bring Stray here.
So good.
This has been a hell of a surprise Wednesday. We got Zeke. We got Brian coming in. Man.
One after the next.
Working on Rip now, too.
Today,
Don't blow your load.
18 years ago today, the Detroit Pistons won their 3rd NBA championship.
Yes, sir.
The 04 pick. Can you believe? You know, if you think about it.
How many years?
And I'm 18. I'm going to get to the Tigers in just a
years?
second.
People are saying, please don't.
What?
No, I'm just joking. Please don't get to the Tigers.
So I will get to the Tigers just because I there's the numbers I was going through.
They are staggering.
The numbers I went through this morning were just incredible. Okay? So if you think about the 89-90 Pistons, okay? Think about, then Lindsey, Hunter, and Allen Houston, and then you had the Grant Hill, and then you had the Stackhouse. There were so many versions of the Pistons.
Iverson.
But then, in a 14-year period, it took 14 years for all of those iterations of the Detroit Pistons to ultimately succeed and be on the mountaintop again and win a championship. It's been 18 years now since 04.
I can't believe it.
So that's how. I mean, that 14 years felt so long from 90 to 04.
You thought it never was going to end.
Yeah. From 90 to 04, it felt like forever. But now it's even been longer than that. It's been 18 years from 04 to 22 now. And there's really no end in sight.
Crazy thing is it's been 18 years since the championship in 04, but it's been 14 years since a playoff win. It's been 14 years since we had a playoff win. 14 years. And we've been to the playoff, twice in the last...
Yeah, just if you want to call those playoff appearances.
Those were the, you know what those were? Those were the early test runs for the play-in tournament.
Yes.
That's what those were. There was 2 years in a row we lost to Cleveland. 1 versus 8, 2 years in a row.
Milwaukee, I think Milwaukee swept them out one year.
I think we stayed within 10 one game, I think.
Is that? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It was Blowout City. Speaking of Blowout City, guys.
Transition game.
Look, after 61 games, okay, the Detroit Tigers are just flat out miserable. They are. You ready for this?
They're 24 and 37, working on 38.
Yeah, they're down 7-0, so they're not going to win this game.
They still have time.
They'll be 24.
They can't score 7 runs in an entire week.
They'll be 24 and 38 within another hour.
So, guys, there's 30 Major League Baseball teams. They're 30th out of 30 in runs. They're 30th out of 30 in home runs by a wide margin. They're 30th out of 30 in slugging percentage. They're 30th out of 30 in OPS, on base percentage. They are 29th out of 30 in hits, just flat out base hits. And then 27th out of 30 in batting average. Guys, somebody's got to lose their job over this.
As you say that.
Well, yeah, they got a hit, but they can't score a run.
He's out sliding into third.
Oh, is that what happened?
As you say that.
Can't even pay attention. Somebody has to lose their job over this.
Somebody does have to lose their job because, Ryan, there's one thing to be a bad professional team, period, in any level of the 4 majors. It's one thing to be a bad professional team. There's another thing to be the worst at every position. There are some teams that suck, but they're not bad at hitting, or they have a good bullpen. They have things that they do well, whether it's defense. They do something well. The Tigers do nothing well, and even the bullpen. Alex Faedo is a guy that we said was coming up. He's a guy that was pitching well this year. Well, 7 in 4 innings, it's not going well.
Listen to me. Listen to these single numbers. Miguel Cabrera,
double play,
21 RBIs. He leads the team.
It's disgusting.
You ready? Jonathan Scope and Candelario lead the team with 5 home runs. 5. Let's extrapolate the numbers. They're on pace for 13 home runs and 55 RBI.
It's disgusting.
That's your team leaders. Aaron Judge has 24 home runs already by himself.
Guys, when you think about
Bryce Harper has 17 home runs and he missed 10 games.
Yeah, he has a bad shoulder.
When you think about home runs, okay, the Detroit Tigers have hit 31 home runs. as a team collectively. The next closest team, number 29, the Oakland A's have hit 45. They are 14 home runs. Oakland is 14 home runs clear of the Tigers for last.
They have scored 168 runs, including today's game, which makes them last by 40 runs over the Pittsburgh Pirates, who they swept last week.
168 runs. Nobody has less than 200 runs scored. The Detroit Tigers have scored 100 and not 98, not 188, not 178, 168 runs.
And there's no relief in sight.
Somebody has to lose their job over this
Somebody's.
But now,
this is Major League Baseball.
But here's the thing, though. Who's losing their job over this? Is it the hitting coach? Is it Al Avila? It's like, who is it?
Somebody.
It's not AJ. It's not AJ Hinch. Is it Chris Ilitch? Like, who needs to lose their job over this?
It's a terrible analogy, and I'm not even going to say it, so I'm going to stop myself.
Okay, well, I pause there. Mass.
Yeah.
Somebody
who needs
has
to lose their job? Al Avila, one.
Yeah, he's one.
Okay, hitting coach, two.
Yeah, I think Hinch can go.
What has AJ Hinch done?
Nothing.
To help this ball
Nothing.
club. And you can tell me about how he...
Last year
what? You can tell me about how he manages this pitching staff really well, and the four of the 5 opening day starters in the rotation are out. And I understand that. That's great. But can you help out with the hitting? Do you only know what to do with pitchers?
And you see, that's the thing, and that's where I defer to you guys, or I defer to the.
I'm asking the question
because I agree. Because I want to ask the question too. Because with AJ Hinch, is it AJ Hinch's fault that Javi Baez is swinging at everything thrown at him?
No, that's Al Avila's fault. Because that's Al Avila's fault. And
for bringing him in.
To a certain extent, that is Chris Ilitch's fault.
And you know whether I agree with you on that is because he thought Javi Baez would be a Band-Aid. And I'm starting to realize it more and more. He thought, we got Javi Baez. Javi Baez has got 2 Golden Gloves. He hit some home runs in the past. Hasn't played that well in the last 3 years, but they won't pay attention to that. They'll just pay attention. He's a big name. We got another big name. It's reminding me of Juan Gonzalez. When we bought Juan Gonzalez and paid him all that money, Juan Gonzalez did nothing because he was a shell of what he used to be when he was with the Rangers.
But are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Chris Fetter is the pitching coach. He's done a great job.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Going to Michigan.
He's going to go to Michigan because Michigan's coach is going to leave and go to Clemson for well over like $1 million.
Yeah, he's going to double his salary. Yeah.
Clemson is going after the Michigan head coach. Michigan baseball, one of the top programs.
Yeah, World Series last year. They made it again this year to the playoffs as well.
So now the Tigers' strength, which has been their pitchers, you're going to lose your pitching coach.
It's about to take a hit.
Who is to blame?
No pun intended.
Numero uno. Who is to blame for this just downright awful season that the Detroit Tigers are undertaking right now? I want to hear from the people. Go ahead and hit us up on the YouTube chat or give us a call. 313-552-6322. 313-552-6322. You can't fire the owner, okay? You cannot fire the owner. Who would you fire? Would love to hear your thoughts on that. 313-552-6322. Ermanni and Edwards. But first, a message from SMA.
The sports marketing agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the F Word, helps spread awareness of fentanyl and other addictions. Go to thesportsma.com, thesportsma.com. If you are struggling or know somebody is, maybe the Tigers need to go there for it because they're addicted to losing.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
When you need apparel, there is only one place to go, Big Frog Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has the styles you want. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4BIG-FROG. That's 844-4BIG-FROG. And if you want to visit their website, go to bigfrog.com/Novi.
So on the YouTube chat, Tammy Chin, our good friend, and by the way, we are seven likes away from 100 likes. Let's get there after this first hour here. By the end of the segment, let's get there.
We got to get 100 for Zeke at least.
Yeah,
come on,
no
for
kidding.
Zeke.
So Tammy Chin writes on the YouTube chat, I would fire them all, start with Avila, and head right down the line. Goodbye, coaching staff. Time for a total rebuild. Here's the thing with that, and it got me to thinking. Now, it's got to start with Avila, okay? I'm going to say this. I'm going to preface this with the fact that it's got to be somebody else making the decision. Al Avila's got to go. Bar none,
100%.
Not even a discussion. This is just ridiculous. Now 9-0 White Sox. Al Avila's got to go. That's number one. Number two, would you consider trading Miguel Cabrera?
No one's going to take him.
Listen to me. Would you trade Miguel Cabrera at the deadline for somebody will give you something for Miguel Cabrera? He's got a year and a half left on his contract. He's under contract for one more season after this. Would you trade Miguel Cabrera? He already had 500. He's already gotten 3,000. He's
got 600. The doubles.
600
Yep.
doubles. You've done every milestone that you can for him. Would you trade him to a contender, let him finish out his career, potentially trying to go win a championship, and then perhaps you could get a really, really, really solid prospect, but it has to be an absolute can't-miss guy? Would you do it?
I wouldn't do it from the standpoint just to do it to get a solid guy. I would do it because I care about Miguel Cabrera. Kind of like similar with Von Miller happened with Denver. They asked Von Miller, said, hey, we want to send you over here to the Rams. The Rams are a contender. Guess what? Von Miller wins another Super Bowl. So I would do it out of respect for Miguel Cabrera, but it's not anything I would bring to him because I want to actually bring in another contender. I personally would want to look out for him, but other than that, I want to keep Miggy on the squad. Hell, he's the best player on the squad right now.
I mean, Miguel Cabrera's contract, I see a couple of people in the YouTube chat saying Miguel Cabrera's contract. I mean, he makes $30 million. I mean, it's for one season. It's $30 million. A big deal to the Yankees or the Mets. Can you imagine?
Yeah. They don't need him, man.
You don't think the Mets need a bat like Miguel Cabrera?
No.
Philly?
What do they need a singles hitter for?
I mean, I don't know. The Mets haven't won a World Series since 1986. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just throwing names out. You don't think the Phillies or the Giants? The Giants don't need Miguel Cabrera?
Well, you keep saying no, Fletch. Say something other than no. Why no? What do you think?
Well, nobody else needs him. He's only a DH for us. On top of that, it's disrespectful to the team and its fans to take somebody that's been with the Tigers for so many years. When I look at the Tigers team now, especially only being 21 years old, the only person that I see on that team from the time I was born until now as somebody that represents the Tigers is Miguel Cabrera. Ryan, you saying that, you're just asking to get torn apart on Twitter.
I'm not.
Again.
I'm asking the question. If you are
get him, Fletch.
I'm not asking. I'm not trying to get torn apart. I'm asking the question. Like, if you need to totally tear this thing down again, there is nobody on this team. You have nobody. You have Torkelson, who you think And let me tell you.
What about Riley Green?
Okay, I have not seen him at the major league level.
No one has.
But there's 9 players you need.
Yeah.
This ain't basketball where 2 players get you out of something. You have 2 players on your team. You need 9 spots. I don't see anybody. We hear about Torkelson, but honestly, Torkelson has done nothing at all.
You got to let him breathe.
I agree, and it's not fair to assess.
No.
But you can't tell me this is what you thought you were going to get this year.
Well, no, of course it is. It is.
You thought he was going to bat under 200 and just be terribly inefficient at the plate?
Yeah. I
you
thought
did think that?
Yeah, I thought he'd bat around 200. I really did.
Okay, then
2
you're
to 250.
much better than me.
You know why? Because he's a kid.
Yeah.
They're literally just pulling him up out of college. 1 year in the minors.
I thought maybe you could get 18 bombs out of him.
You still might.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you might.
They're so bad, man. He's playing a good first base.
Is there anybody on this roster that is worth building around or being excited about, other than, again, Riley Green, Spencer Torkelson? Javier Baez is a disaster. Not even remotely close to.
Scope is another one that's a disaster.
Well, he's going to be gone. I mean, he'll be
100%.
traded at the deadline.
Like is Daz Cameron somebody
No, he's
that's
down
starting
again.
to come on?
No, he's down again.
He's down again.
No,
Victor Reyes.
he can't stay up.
That's right. Victor came up and he went down.
Yeah, can't stay up.
I think he was on the COVID list or something like that. That's why he went down.
You know what? He was playing pretty good for a while.
He was.
He was hitting 300 about 20-some-odd games.
His
He's
game
not
went a
bad.
home run twice.
I mean,
Not
Cody
bad.
Clemens is nice, but let's be honest.
No.
If his last name wasn't Clemens, nobody would care about him.
No.
This is true.
He's not a great hitter either. He could play. He's a pretty good fielder, not a great hitter. They don't have a lot of. I told you this before. They don't have a lot of players on their team. They drafted arms, and a lot of these arms are getting blown out now.
Yeah.
Which sucks. They don't
What
have
does
a
that
lot.
tell you, by the way?
You're
Are
talking
they
about
doing something wrong in the minors?
Yes, you're talking about this is a bad season. This is a bad ball club. This is a bad team from the top to the minors. This ain't Tampa Bay, man.
That's what I'm. But that's exactly what I'm saying.
You got to get rid of your scouts, everything.
Hey, Mass. Excuse me. That's exactly why I'm asking the question. Should you trade Miguel Cabrera?
No one wants him.
What if they did?
Fine, I will take a donut.
What if they did?
You said take a donut.
Trading Miggy
We'll take a donut
just
anyway.
doesn't. You're gonna have to build around people regardless, right? You're gonna have to build around people regardless. Your entire ball club sucks. You need 9 people. Miggy's got 1 more year left in his contract. It's gonna take them another 5 to 6 years to rebuild it in the first place. Why does it matter to trade Miggy if you only have 1 more year and you're rebuilding regardless?
Because I don't know. Maybe there's an injury to a contending team. Maybe somebody gets desperate. I look at these teams at the top, and they are big market franchises who usually do not care about anything to do with money. The New York Mets, the Los Angeles Dodgers, the New York Yankees, the San Francisco Giants, the Boston Red Sox. I mean, just some
Phillies
of the
won 9 in a row. Phillies up there too.
The Atlanta, Philadelphia. No, these teams, Atlanta might. But the other teams that I just mentioned, 6 of the 7 teams I just mentioned, they don't freaking care about payroll.
Yeah.
If they have an injury, maybe they make a run at a guy to stop the bleeding or to go for it.
Right.
I can't hear you.
You can't play him in the field.
Yeah.
You can't play Miggy in the field.
DH, universal DH.
Yes, but what is he? He's a single hitter.
He don't
He's
have
not
it
going to
anymore,
do
man.
anything from another team's point of view.
He's just here to finish his career as a Tiger. That's
Okay.
all.
Well, that's
I
fine
doubt
then.
he plays next year. I doubt he plays
You
next
think
year.
this is last? Well, that's what I'm saying. Not for this team.
not for this team.
God, it's just so frustrating. It is
It
so
sucks,
frustrating.
man. There's nothing we can even talk about. We don't know. We don't even know how to fix this team because they're unfixable.
Well, that's why it's a total rebuild.
Yeah.
That's why it's a total rebuild. And Miguel Cabrera kind of is, a waste of space right now.
Now, let me ask you a question. What's the average rebuild time in the MLB? Like, what's the average rebuild? 4 years?
I mean, it's
5,
really
6.
reload.
Baltimore's been rebuilding for years too. If you look at some of the teams, they're still rebuilding. There's some bad teams out there.
Oakland A's been rebuilding since both Giambi's played on the team.
Yeah, but you know what? They always make the playoffs. Those guys, they're always contending.
It's true.
Hell, they stripped down to like $20 million this year, and they're still better than the Tigers.
They got Billy Bean over there, man.
They're
got
still
Billy
better
Bean.
than the Tigers.
It's analytics.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe we need to get some of those analytics.
We need Theo Epstein or a Theo Epstein type general manager.
We need Stephen Hawking.
We have the cheapest general manager in baseball.
Yeah,
what I mean by that is
it's a disgrace.
He was an assistant guy. They hired him. They paid him probably the least.
Yeah.
And he's here, and it's a
7 years.
It's a losing franchise.
It's a disgrace.
First of all, Ryan, you know that, right? 2 world championships since World War II.
Yeah.
It's a losing franchise.
Yeah.
I hate to say it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a losing franchise. It just is. The Old English D, as beautiful as it is, it's not a good franchise, nor has it been really that good.
Maybe we got to switch manager up, man. Maybe we got to get like the Sopranos type cats involved, man. Break some knees, break some kneecaps.
You know, I mean, it is possible that the Tigers could eat some of that salary too, right? I mean, listen. I was watching Moneyball this weekend.
Billy Bean?
And Billy Bean had a conversation with David Justice and said,
the Yankees like you so much.
Yeah, they're paying you $3.5 million to play against you.
To not play for them.
Yeah.
To play, no, they're paying you $3.5 million to play against them.
Yeah.
So maybe the Tigers can eat some of that salary. I think it's not out of the realm of possibilities. I could be a total idiot though, but won't be the first time. Guys, want to get into some Lions talk? Top of hour number 2 of the program. University of Michigan player coming home to play here in Detroit. Former Farmington Hills Harrison wide receiver, tight end Devin Funchess, Michigan guy. He is going to be playing for the Detroit Lions this year. Signed a 1-year deal. We'll have that for you coming up next. But first, the message from the Foaling Warehouse.
In Hamtramck, Chris Hutt, the inventor of this great game, football and bowling put together. And what a fun time it is. Take your friends, bring your family. Just get down there and get your foal on. 2 ways to play. $12 unlimited open play or a private lane reservation. 10 or 12 of your closest friends. Cost you $120, but you get the lane for yourself for 2 hours. How about bringing your own food in or even having it delivered? The place is huge, spread out. Have a picnic. They don't mind. You can do whatever the heck you want there. Plenty of TVs. How about the bar? Over 100 beers to offer and the $2 mystery beer machine. Name your drink. They've got them all. Multiple full bars. Get your full on. Check them out at foldingwarehouse.com.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron. Here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh, wait. It's 2 for $4. Got to double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You can get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Strawberry Fest is back at Big Boy. We brought back some of the classic breakfast items like the strawberry French toast, hot cakes, and waffle. If you're not feeling breakfast, try our new strawberry bacon chicken wrap, crispy chicken wrap, nacho wrap, or strawberry salad. The perfect recipe for springtime. And don't forget to grab dessert, including our berry delicious strawberry pie for only $1.99 with the purchase of $7.99 or more at participating Big Boy locations.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Planet Fitness is inviting high school teens between the ages of 14 and 19 to work out for free all summer long via the High School Summer Pass, and the promotion ends August 31st. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where you can work in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere, and membership starts at just $10 a month, or you can get the black card for $24.99 a month. Join in club or online at www.planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Hour number 2 of the program. Thank you so much. Ermanni and Edwards, Bottom Line, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, and Tom Mazawey. Sam Flannel-Fletch in the house is well weighing in on the Tigers topic. We're going to get into the Lions, but how did we just go an entire segment talking Tigers and not mention that their free agent prized arm signing of Eduardo Rodriguez is now not even with the team? Who? Basically quit.
Losing $400,000 a start.
Yeah. He basically quit. He left. John Heyman says
where?
Eduardo Rodriguez is on the restricted list due to a marital issue he's attending to. That's what the New York Post is learning. There is no timetable on his return.
Yeah,
5 years, $77 million. That was your target.
Do you remember the Prince Fielder
marital situation?
Marital episode back in the day?
Very well.
And who was the other guy that went to Chicago?
Oh, it was
that we shipped out of
It was
here?
the guy that looked like Miguel Cabrera. What's
it was
his name?
Baby Miggy.
Yeah, Baby
Avisail
Miggy.
Garcia.
Avisail Garcia. Yes. What's with the Tigers and these marital switcheroonies?
I don't know, man.
Is that what happened?
I don't
Somebody was
know.
banging his wife?
I'm guessing.
Oh.
I'm guessing.
Well, maybe he could have been doing something too. I mean,
I know. I'm guessing. You know what? I did find there might be a solution to the Tigers' problems. You know, Golden Tate is out there.
He's a good baseball player.
Check it out.
And boom goes the dynamite.
There it is. How about Golden
What league
Tate?
is that? The California Penal?
No, it's a college league. It's a summer college league.
Oh.
Why did that instantly remind me of Necessary Roughness?
Like Major League.
Where they played against the inmates.
California Penal League.
God. He looked good, though.
Oh, my
Slide
gosh.
pop up.
I mean, that was a sweet...
It looked better than Tebow's baseball career.
No doubt. Without question. Anyway, guys, I want to get into some Detroit Lions talk right now. Devin Funchess, 1-year deal with the Lions, prove-it deal. Look, what do you got to lose? Moving him to tight end, backup tight end role. What do you got to lose? This is great.
I like this pickup a lot. If people remember, Devin started off as tight end when he first got to Michigan.
At Michigan, yeah.
He was playing tight end. He was wearing 87. Next season, he was wearing 19, played tight end. I think his second year, he had 748 yards, 6 touchdowns. It's not bad for a tight end. And then he moves to wide receiver. A move I never understood. And the reason why I didn't understand that move, he was so elusive at the tight end position. He could run kind of sort of like a wide receiver. And now you look at the way in which the position of tight end has transferred. Look at George Kittle. Look at Travis Kelce. Look at these guys that can move. I thought he would have been really good at tight end. Well, you know what? Look no further. Now he's playing tight end. Now he's here backing up Hockenson. I think he's young. I think he's got a lot of legs left. I like the move, man. He's a hometown guy. Still has that athleticism to him. Does a camp every year, so I've had a chance to see him.
Good kid, too. I remember covering him.
Yeah.
You know, I used to do a high school show at the television station, and just covering him at Farmington Hills Harrison. Good kid, good family, good background, good just a genuinely good person. I feel like,
sometimes you need a rebirth. You know, sometimes you need to be at a different team. Now you look at a team like the Detroit Lions. You look at what Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes are doing. It's different energy. You know, he's been in Jacksonville. You know what that was down there. He's been in Green Bay, and they had a ton of wide receivers. They don't play big wide receivers in Green Bay, so that wasn't going to work out. He was with the Colts, I believe, over there with Eric Ebron, as I say. So he's finally in a space now. Looks like the Lions are moving in the right direction. The Tigers are not moving in the right direction. And then he's playing tight end. I'm telling you, man, sometimes you need that rebirth. You put him at the tight end position. I think he can have some success, and I think it will also allow the Lions, if it works out, to play 2 tight end sets. Because right now they don't. They have Hockenson, and that's it. You put him in there as well. Another guy that can move around with this wide receiver court they have. He's also a guy that plays wide out too. So you can put him at different spots. He can do different things. He can be able to create some mismatches. You never know. You know, I really like this signing. And one of the things about, Devin Funchess, too, is
And look, is he going to help the team win a division championship? You never know. But players like this, you add talent to a team. You add talent. Keep adding talent. And maybe a player like him sticks and can really help you on a backup level. Braylon, I want to bring Brian Mosallam in. Maz, can we have your mic? Can you sit? You want to sit? Have Brian sit in there. Okay. We'll get Brian set up. I'm going to take a break. I want to revisit something that went viral this week. Over 51,000 views on it now.
And counting.
And it's really something. It was about Michigan State and Michigan and this, that, and the other thing. I'm going to take a break, and we're going to get to Brian Mosallam talking a little Michigan State. How about we do it next? But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac. It is no secret that Les Stanford, that new cars are hard to come by, but they are available at Les Stanford. You got to make a plan, though. Allocation coming in for lease or purchase of new vehicles. Les Stanford has over 350 pre-owned cars on their lot right now. All makes, all models, all years, some with less than 500 miles on it. For more, visit LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
6 dark corners. A driveway and a patio. 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
Make sure you're listening to Woodward Sports all day long. Start your morning with the Morning Woodward Show. Spend middays with Big D Energy. Watch and listen your drive home with the bottom line. And don't forget about Woodward Bets Daily. All live, all right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Our friends at Alta Equipment know that when it comes to getting your job completed on budget and on schedule, uptime matters. That's why Alta Equipment has partnered with the biggest names in construction. With the most diverse rental fleet in Michigan, there is nothing your project can throw at you that Alta can't handle. Give them a call at 844-GO-TO-ALTA today. That is 844-GO-TO-ALTA today. Alta Equipment, where uptime matters.
All right, welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. Lots of discussion this week along the Michigan State. You know, it was Braylon. It was a Tuesday in June.
Nothing to talk about. Tigers suck.
Right.
Beating the Lions to death.
It's always good. And so we got into this discussion, and just to set the scene for you, the topic was kind of a this or that. It was, I think the NFL on CBS put it out. It was, would you rather be a role player and win 2 Super Bowls or no Super Bowls and make it to the Hall of Fame, have a Hall of Fame career? So we got it started, then we localized it, and we said, would you rather beat Michigan State or would you rather win the Big Ten championship? And without question, I said lose to Michigan State and win the Big Ten championship.
Like last year.
Maz said, no, I want to beat Michigan State. I couldn't believe what he said. I couldn't believe what he said. But then we got to this.
And
I mean, that's exactly what the criticism of Michigan State is, that they only care about beating Michigan.
Correct.
And they are obsessed with beating Michigan,
correct,
not with winning championships.
I pay for my kid to go to that school, and I can't root for them because of that. Do you understand what it does to me? But I was in that stadium last year, sitting amongst them, and you know what? I had a great time watching that game, even though Michigan lost. I had a great time.
That was one of the greatest college games
It was a phenomenal freaking game.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel bad at the end of that game.
No,
I felt good for them.
I didn't feel bad either.
For the first time ever.
Michigan probably should have won.
For the first time ever, I felt good for them. But yet then I hear Tuck coming.
Ask me to.
And it just cuts me like a knife.
So before we get to Brian Mosallam, Braylon, you were not here for this. Yeah. And again, if you I think the words that were missed at the start of this clip was, well, that's the knock on them. It wasn't that I think. That's the knock on Michigan State. What are your thoughts overall on it?
Playing in a rivalry, you never want to lose Michigan State. Michigan State never wants to lose to us. But you play for the Big Ten championship. So I wouldn't mind losing Michigan State if that means I win the Big Ten championship. Last year, Michigan lost to Michigan State in a damn good game. I want to say the best in the rivalry. But then Michigan went on to go to the playoffs. They won the Big Ten championship. They went to the playoffs. And everybody forgot that they lost to Michigan State once it turned into December. So if I had my choice, I would say losing Michigan State, but then win the Big Ten championship, because that's what the hell I went to Michigan for anyway. And that's why you go to Michigan State too.
Brian Mosallam with us, host of Inside the Locker Room right here on Woodward Sports Network. What was your people's reaction?
Oh, I mean, it's funny because when you make comments like that, it feeds the narrative that there are Spartans living rent-free in your head, in Michigan fan base's head. Because if you see the way that they react to every recruit that commits to MSU, the obsession is really on both sides, I would say, and it's a rivalry,
without question.
But to say that that's all that matters to MSU fans, that's not true. This is a championship program, and Mel Tucker's talking about winning national championships. He's not talking about beating Michigan. That's not the goal in East Lansing.
But that has been something that you guys have been able to do, is beat Michigan, and you wore that proudly. I will say this. So Valeni, I was listening to Valeni the other day, and Valeni said something to the effect of, boy, I really love that we beat Michigan in their championship year. and it was that comment by him did add that fuel for me to say that.
That's real.
You know what I mean? Like, not that he speaks for all Michigan State fans, but to hear him say, "Oh, I gotta tell you, they beat Ohio State and they won the Big Ten championship, but man, we beat them this year." And I was like, "Yeah, that's all right. I'll take the loss to Michigan State and have the other 2 wins on my notch, and I'd feel better about that." So that helped. That comment by him helped fuel my ability to say that as well.
I think it also, like, when you see in the past, you see Michigan State, when they have success against Michigan, they'll beat Michigan, and then the very next game, you've seen it countless times, no matter who the coach is. It happened with Saban, it happened with Pearl, it happened with Tuck. Last year, they beat Michigan, and then they lose to Purdue. And then they don't care about losing to Purdue. And I'm not saying you, Brian, but it doesn't seem like they care about losing to Purdue because they beat Michigan. And then they lose to Ohio State in a game in which K9 didn't play, but they get blown out. But it doesn't matter because they beat Michigan. And it just seems and feels that way sometime in the rivalry. But to your point, I don't like Michigan State as well, and they do live in my head a little bit, not as a player, as an analyst.
So I think that losing to Purdue and Ohio State, these are all independent games. I don't attribute them to us beating Michigan and coming off of a hangover. I think Mel Tucker's done a very good job of each week. You got to go 1-0 each week.
Right.
I think the fan base, here's what I think as a former player and now part of the fan base. I think it matters more to Michigan State players and Ohio State players to beat Michigan than it does to Michigan players. I really do believe that's a culture thing.
And that's probably why they've been able to do that.
That's exactly why.
Yeah, that's real.
For the last decade plus.
Because it's that continued arrogance and that continued elitist attitude that Spartans feed off of your main focus is us, your main focus is us. And that infuriates both sides.
I agree. Because as an analyst now, I remember when Jim Harbaugh said something to the effect of the Ohio State game. He said something, and I was working at the Big Ten Network at the time. I was working at the Big Ten Network at the time.
He said it's just another game, didn't he?
And he pissed me off. When he said it, he pissed me off. But then when you watch the game, you can see that he wasn't lying, because Michigan would go out there and get their ass whooped. Like, I literally would be in the stadium, and you can feel the aggression from Ohio State. When you play against Michigan State, you can feel the aggression against Michigan State. You can feel that intensity, whereas earlier in Harbaugh's tenure, Michigan it seemed like it was Northwestern. Like it seemed like it was Purdue. Meanwhile, you guys in Ohio State, they were chomping off the bit to kill us. And it wasn't the same energy. I think last year was the first year that the energy was matched.
No question.
When Michigan played Michigan State, energy was equal.
Agree with that.
Yeah.
And I also believe Michigan came out with a chip on their shoulder against Ohio State. That's the first chip I have seen a Michigan team have in that game in a long time, where they ran the ball at will down their throat.
Yeah.
And there's a big difference. There's a big difference in the psychology of the programs. I think it's Coach D'Antonio made a good point one time. When Michigan was 3-8, came in East Lansing, put a stake in the field, and he said it's not the coach, it's the program, and it's the mentality around the program is what infuriates Spartans. It's what infuriates Buckeyes. It's this: we're better. It's not as important. It's just another game, and that's why you're 2-18 against Ohio State in the last 20 games, and you're 4-10. You're 4-10 against Michigan State in the last 14 games.
I like to say 1-0 against Ohio State.
Okay.
Okay. With that being said, let me ask you this. With that being said, Brian, let me ask you: what is the mentality for Michigan State against Ohio State? Because you say we're 2-18, we are. So are you guys.
We're the only ones to beat Urban Meyer twice. We beat him in 13, 15.
But you got 3 wins against Ohio State in the last 20 games, just like us.
I look at it like we got 3 in the last 6.
That is much. What we want to know then.
Numbers can be used however you want it. Let me ask you this question, Brian, because I can't answer this question, and I'm not sure Braylon can answer this question. Mel Tucker has come to Michigan State and has made that program so friggin' cool, right? I mean,
it's cool.
It's cool to go play for Michigan.
He's going to land a 737 on the 50-yard line this weekend.
It's cool to play football at Michigan State.
It's not going to surprise anybody.
It's cool to play football at Michigan State. Mel Tucker's that
Smoking
guy you want to play for. There's no doubt about it. At what point, I mean, and maybe it's an unfair question, but we're all just fans here talking. Does a championship have to be won in 2 years, 4 years? I can't believe it took Jim Harbaugh 7 years, but it did take him 7 years. Does he get 7 years? I mean, Jim Harbaugh was making $9 million a year.
After year one.
And with that contract,
nothing to show
does come an expectation. It comes, if you're getting paid with the elite coaches in college football, to me, everything gets wiped away there. That comes an expectation, and I don't know what that is for Michigan State. But when Jim Harbaugh was paid $9 million a year in year one, I expected a championship that year or the next year for sure. How long does it before Michigan State fans require that of Mel Tucker?
Well, first of all, nobody expects to win a championship more than Mel Tucker. So nobody sets those expectations for the program more than he does.
Sure.
Obviously, with a big paycheck like that, the expectations are raised. There's no question about it. I think he will have time to build this. As you know, football is not basketball.
Yeah.
You can't get 1 or 2. You got to build depth. If you look at Ohio State from 1 to 100, they have depth. So it's going to take a while. He's going to get time, and he's going to win at MSU. It's not a matter of if; it's a matter of when. So I can't put a timetable on it, but you got to give him an opportunity to get all of his kids in there, and definitely expectations have been raised. I think the difference between Michigan State and even Michigan and the South, they're not going to compromise the integrity of the program to hang a banner. They're just not. And so LSU, the guy coached 21 months at LSU. He won a championship and he got fired. That's not going to happen up here. That's not going to happen up here, especially with the type of donors that we have who supported Mel. They're not kicking their feet up on the table, telling them who to play, who to recruit, what to do. He sees that. He knows the way that down south, the expectations, what they are, and the kind of donors that he has here. And so he's in love with them and in love with the place. So it's a different dynamic here. And we're going to see how this plays out. But, I mean, everybody's bullish in East Lansing.
Without question, and it should be.
And I definitely gave you guys credit for that because I said in terms of the way the NIL is going, I said you'll see Michigan State, Michigan, and Notre Dame, schools like that, will be sluggish on the process because we don't want that blood money in 10 years from now when we're looking at what we did to achieve greatness. So I did add Michigan State.
You're 100%
into
right.
that. I don't, like 10 years from now, you don't want to be looking back like, oh, well, we did some of these Texas A&M type deals to get these players. Like, that's not going to be Michigan State. It's not going to be Michigan, and it won't be schools like Notre Dame. But I'm always non-biased. Like, don't forget, I'm the guy that got fired from Big Ten Network for going after Jim Harbaugh. So I keep it down the middle.
They fired you for that?
Yeah.
That's called the blue wall. That's what that's called. I didn't realize
that was Michigan working against me.
Brian, you have a minute? Can you stay or no? You got to go. Because I got a couple more questions for you about, and one of the things I want to ask you is about how far realistically can teams from the Big Ten go? Is the playoff the cap? I want to ask you about that coming up next. But first, a message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Don't I look good today?
You do, brother.
Oh, man. My girl Becca out there did the best she could.
Man.
Yeah, look, this is the best.
See, they can't see the back of the neck.
No,
that looks better.
they can't. Line me up real good. Thanks to Becca out there, one of the talented stylists here, a precision haircut. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, over 100 locations nationwide, many of them locally here in the Metro Detroit area. All you got to do is walk in, sign in, sit down, and before you know it, you are handsome and clean. Ooh-wee! 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome. Wicked awesome.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
OddsTrader.com, the number one site for all your game day bets. Begin your handicapping journey at OddsTrader.com for play-by-play updates, live scores, and bet tracking. Download OddsTrader from the App Store today. Hell, go get all your comparative sports, all the bets you want to make. Just go to OddsTrader.com. Your sports, OddsTrader.com.
Ermanni and Edwards here with Brian Mosallam, who is the host of Inside the Locker Room right here on Woodward Sports Network. Of course, former Michigan State Spartan himself. By the way, before we get into it, how friggin' cool was it when you guys had Nick friggin' Saban on? I mean, that was great a couple of weeks ago. Great stuff,
we got him to smile twice.
Yeah. Is that more than you saw him smile when he was the coach of Michigan State?
I mean, he couldn't wait. You know, he just, when I showed him a picture of 1995, him and I asked him who's aged better, he goes, clearly you have. And he smirked. So we did our job.
That's so great.
That counts.
Braylon, I'm going to ask you this, and I'll ask Brian. So when Michigan made it to the college football playoff last year, it became very apparent to me. It was almost like, as a Michigan fan, you got slapped in the face a little bit. Because
a lot of bit.
Because I almost came to the realization that maybe the cap for Michigan or for anybody in the Big Ten or anybody outside of the South or a USC could actually go in there and win a national championship. Is making it, not winning, making it to a college football playoff the absolute cap for a Big Ten team and like a Notre Dame? Or does NIL help change that?
Like it or not, right now it is the cap, and the reason why is we've seen it happen 4 times, and 4 times Ohio State won the first time, then the next time they got blown out, then Michigan State got blown out, and then Michigan got blown out.
Notre Dame hasn't been able to
Notre Dame has gotten blown out. So I think as of right now it is the cap, but we have to see what happens with the NIL. That's one of the reasons why Nick Saban is so angry now, because teams are catching up, and he didn't know it was going to be this fast. He thought that he would be able to ride the NIL out for maybe 2-3 more years and then go off into the sunset. Well, last year they lost. This year they might lose again, and the year after that. So I think it is the cap, but the tide is changing. You saw, let's look at a player like K9 with the transfer portal, and that's not even the NIL. So you had you had the transfer portal with the NIL. I think it'll give the teams a chance to catch up with the SEC and the things that they have done in the past.
Is it the great equalizer?
You know it is. Because they've been doing NIL down there for
100%,
right? Seriously,
so NIL, I believe, it will help level the playing field. There's no question, and the market will correct itself. I mean, you got top 5 NFL picks; they got millions of dollars they're investing, and they're busts.
Brian, so, the wide receiver for USC makes more makes more than Jameson Williams with the Detroit Lions.
All that, I believe you're going to see a salary cap. I think you're going to see the Power 65 pull out of the NCAA. The NCAA is teethless. So, speaking as a former trustee, we look at the budgets, right? When you look at the SEC's budget, the amount of sports that they have, each sport on average loses $1 million a year. So, they meet the bare minimum of 19 sports in the SEC. Just to meet Title IX, where like Michigan State has 25, Michigan has 32, even Ohio State has 39. So that's $1 million extra they're losing. So that's less resources going to the revenue sports. That's number one. It's all about revenue going. How much money are you investing in your major programs? How much is your salary pool? Not just your head coach. How much is your salary pool? What do your facilities look like? And now the game changer is NIL. And this is now. The discussions have shifted across the country from show me your weight room, show me your nutrition room, to is there an opportunity for NIL?
What can you pay me?
Yes, show me the money. And so you're going to see that's going to level the playing field. Have we reached the ceiling from a Big Ten? I mean, I like in football, the big difference between the SEC and the Big Ten is not so much speed as it is speed at linebacker and tackles, D tackles.
It's linemen,
right? The linemen,
it's
exactly.
linemen.
The way the backers and the linemen.
Jordan Davis.
That's exactly
right. Kobe
right.
Dean.
That's where, because every corner and every city's fast. Every running back.
Trayvon Walker.
That's exactly. So, like, that's the difference. And I think NIL, and I think especially like Tucker, he came down from, all the kids were plucking out of Georgia, Texas. He's got a national reach. So until you can start plucking kids out from that area, those honey holes, it's going to be very hard to close the gaps with the Georgias and the Alabamas. But Michigan State right now has the 3rd highest assistance pool in the country, so the investment's there. So we'll see.
I always thought another tough thing, B, is when you, if I can call you B, I think we gotten cool now.
You call me whatever you want.
I'm saying? No, I'm messing with you. But I think it's when kids, like let's say like linemen from down south, say it's Texas, say Georgia, say Mississippi, say Louisiana, when they look at the game on ABC and they're watching Penn State and they're watching Michigan State and it's November and they see a freaking snow blizzard, what do they say? No thank you. If I'm the quarterback that's a 5-star from California or from Texas, because that's typically where they come from, and they look at a blizzard in November as they're trying to throw for 5,000 yards, what do they say? No thank you. I think the weather hurts us as well.
You're absolutely right. We have a geographical
handicap
disadvantage, no question about it. Very, very. That's why, for the life of me, I don't know how Miami cannot be good. Texas, USC.
I don't understand the Miami. Is it the facilities? It's got to be the facilities.
Unbelievable. Lincoln Riley's move is the greatest move anybody's ever made. He got out of the SEC. He went to the easiest Power 5 conference, and he got unlimited private plane usage. Brilliance.
A $13 million home.
Brilliance.
$13 million. A $3.5 million wide receiver.
It's incredible what's happening in college football. I don't like it. I will say I don't like.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. You know what? These young men, they deserve to get paid. And
I agree with that. I just don't like this.
This structure can't last.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I was one of the biggest proponents, I mean, as best I can, of athletes getting paid. But I guess I just didn't expect this. And I think the NCAA really did this to themselves, though. They did this to themselves. And I heard Mike Greenberg on ESPN, Greeny, talk about how Northwestern football program called him up one day to have somebody there was a football player in this journalism school, shadow him at ESPN. And he was not, and they had to go for weeks through, what's the compliance?
Compliance.
And Greeny couldn't buy this kid a $2.50 omelet during his 12 hours of being there at ESPN
because he's considered a donor.
Because he would be considered a booster. And boosters can't provide. So, I mean, when you're going after ticky-tack stuff like that, or like Mike Golick when his kid played at Notre Dame, Mike Golick couldn't take his kid and the teammate out to dinner and pay for the bill because that would be considered. I mean, some of these rules were so archaic and dumb. They did this to themselves. I don't know what the plan is to fix it. I'm not that smart, but I know I don't like this. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. You don't put them on TV 9 p.m. at night on a Tuesday for your TV rights in your Big Ten network and call them student athletes.
Amen.
And not play them. When the whole world shuts down, pandemic, we're still playing college football.
Yeah.
We're putting these young men in harm's way during COVID while we put in all these protocols. If you're going to do that, you have to find a way, in my opinion, to compensate them because this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Now, how the guardrails look or where that comes from, that's a whole nother discussion. But like I said earlier, I think eventually we're headed towards a salary cap and we're headed towards the Power 65 getting together saying, hey, this is not sustainable. Let's come up with a set of rules that we all need to follow. Then SEC will go back to not following them. But at least we got guidelines.
This is parameters.
Let's take a step out of the political world for a second, and let's get back to the football field. 2022, what do you see for your Michigan State Spartans coming up? What do you see? What does this season look like for you guys in Mel Tucker?
I actually think we're going to be better.
Wow. I think so too.
That doesn't mean the record's going to translate. We'll have more depth and we have more talent. We caught lightning in a bottle with K9. I think if the offensive line continues to build depth, we can do some things that are very special, and he's building. But I think we're going to be a better football team, but the record might not reflect it.
Gotcha.
So there's very few K9s in the world. You're not going to pick up a Doak Walker, Walter Camp player in the portal. So he was lightning in a bottle, but he's building depth. We're going to be good, and Tuck coming.
I like Michigan State.
Two things. First of all, I remember I got crucified for two things by Michigan State fan. One, I came out here and said that early on in the beginning of the season, close to whatever, I said that Aiden Hutchinson was going to have more Heisman votes than Kenneth Walker.
That's the Michigan media machine.
I was right about that. So
You're right.
And secondly, is there any names of the defensive players that I should start studying up on now for this season that I need to look at?
I think you're going to have Xavier Henderson's going to have a good year.
back,
Darius Snow is going to be really good.
Let's start with two.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm taken care of now. Okay, good. Brian Mosallam, listen for him and the rest of the guys on Inside the Locker Room. Great stuff. Weekly show here on Woodward Sports Network. Brian, thanks so much, buddy. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Very
Take
good.
care.
To have you on.
Go
Very
Green.
good. Hey, go white. You know what? What the hell? Why not? Right? I mean, come on. I mean, it's.
So you can never get me to say that. That I can.
Well, it's good.
Hey, notice he was by himself.
Right. All right. We're going to take a break. Come right back. But first, a message from Chili Peppers Tanning. Maz has got us.
Oh, yeah. 26 locations. More on the way. That's right. One right down the street here on Woodward. You know it. That's right. And, of course, if you join the Peppers Club, you get unlimited tanning, and they'll save you $5 against any competitor. Chili Peppers Tanning, the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the best tans, your vitamin D headquarters. Check out more information at chilipepperstanning.com.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hey, guys, it's Maz for Big Boy. Here he is. That's my guy. We're going to be at the Taylor location on Friday. We're going to be there from the morning into the afternoon and into our show. That's right. We're going to be there. More details coming up. We'll see you on Friday at Taylor. Make sure you get right into that Strawberry Fest They brought back the classic breakfast items like the strawberry French toast, the waffles, the pancakes. Get on that right now. If you're not feeling breakfast, try the lunch items or the dinner items, the strawberry bacon chicken wrap, the crispy chicken wrap, the nacho chicken wrap. And if you're into a salad, how about a strawberry salad? And if you want some dessert, save some room for that strawberry pie. Yours for $1.99 with a $7.99 or more purchase at your local Big Boy.
I love that.
That was some good stuff right there, Brian Mosallam, man.
Oh, man, he's a good dude, you know?
He
I
is.
mean, look.
Hey, look, man, we get a little sensitive, emotional about our teams, but other than that, man, you know, you see, guys can coexist. He and I are even going to break bread soon, man. So you know what?
We are absolutely.
His intelligence was nice though, as it related. He broke down some things I didn't even know. So I was good.
We are absolutely passionate about our teams, and you know what? They're back and forth during the year. I will say, I've got some breaking news, real quick for you. Literally, we rarely break news on.
Is he on the mound?
Our program? Cody Clemens, number 21. Cody Clemens is now pitching for the Detroit Tigers.
If you call this pitching.
How about that? I mean, he is throwing ephus balls up there.
So let me ask you this question. I don't want to cut you off, Ryan, but I asked this question to the group chat. I want to say Sunday night. I asked you, Maz.
Yeah, you did.
What is up with all the non-pitchers on the mound? I've seen Albert Pujols on the mound twice. I've seen a member of the Cubs that's not a pitcher on the mound. I can't think of his name. And then also Pujols' teammate pitched on the mound.
Yadier Molina.
Exactly. He pitched
Yadier
on the mound.
Molina pitched?
Yes.
They were rolling in the dugout.
He got rocked.
He got like 18 years in the bigs, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He got rocked, and then is Clemens just get a strikeout?
No, foul ball.
Oh, foul ball. But now you have Cody Clemens, whose father is a Hall of Fame pitcher, not by getting inducted.
He's got to have something up his sleeve, Cody, don't he?
No, he's throwing ephus balls.
Okay.
He's just lobbing them up like 50 miles an hour.
What inning are they in?
They're in the eighth, and they're down
11-0.
So is it because of the blowouts, or is it because these pitchers are exhausting their arms nowadays? What is it?
I think it's a little bit of both. I will say, I didn't even know this was a rule, but your team has to be down by 6 or more runs to use a position player, because I think there was
that makes sense.
There was a team the other night. That had they were down 5-0, tried to use a position player, and they were like, "No, you have to be down by 6 or more runs." So
it was a rule that we found out at that moment.
Yeah,
that was actually a rule. How about this? You ready for this? It is June 15th, so we're at mid-June, right?
Yep.
The Tigers, if they do get shut out today, that will be 4 shutouts in June, 2 home runs hit in June.
It's incredible. How did
That's amazing.
Yeah.
They've been shut out 4 times, and they have hit 2 home runs.
Just don't know how it happens. I don't know what
When's
you're
the
supposed
last time that happened?
Yeah, I mean, is there a mercy rule?
They're worse. They're
Yeah,
worse.
it's called the Detroit Tigers.
They're worse than the team that lost 100 and whatever the hell games it was. What year was that, Rye? Refresh my memory.
2003. 119 losses. And
Remember they had to pull Mike Maroth out so he wouldn't lose 20 games?
Yeah, and he lost 20, so he didn't lose 21.
21. Poor guy.
And a lot of people believe that Rod Gardenhire took some guys out so that Detroit didn't lose that 120th game. It was the final game of the year, and Gardenhire and the Twins basically sent a AAA team out there. So the Tigers, as a gesture, didn't lose because he had so much respect for Alan Trammell, who was the manager that year. And I'm telling you.
And who holds the record for worst? My New York Mets.
The New York Mets. And that has been able to be maintained. Guys, I would be remiss in...
Can he pull Clemens? That's 4 hits in a row.
But he does have an out. He did get an out.
They also
he did record a foul out.
Okay.
Stanley Cup final tonight, Avs and Lightning. I think most people here in Detroit are rooting for the Tampa Bay Lightning, right? I mean, isn't that a natural?
I am.
Yeah, I am too.
I love their coach. I love John Cooper.
Not to mention, you look at the Detroit history there. Bill Davidson was the owner of the Lightning. Stevie Y was the general manager, got everything started in the president. So, I mean, you look at it from that point of view.
I forgot that Bill Davidson won the cup with the Lightning.
Yep. Yes. Remember their place was called the Ice Palace.
That's right.
And that was the only team that he kept when he sold. He sold the Pistons, he sold the Palace, and he sold the Shock. But they kept the Lightning. And then also you look at that. Also, You would never catch me rooting for the Colorado Avalanche.
Ever.
Never.
Our boy Billy Wickett's still over there from the Pistons PR team.
That's right. But this is going to be a good series, and I think outside of the whole New York angle, because anytime you can get an original 6 team in a Stanley Cup final, I do think that is preferable to the country, the game, the networks, and all the like. But as far as a matchup goes, these are the 2 best teams in hockey right now.
First time ever that at least one of the team's names did not end in an S in the Stanley Cup final.
That's a good one.
I think
First time ever.
I think there is. I think there's 12 teams in pro sports that don't end in S,
and 2 of them will be playing tonight.
How about that?
Red Sox, White Sox are a couple of them.
Just to test you guys.
There you go.
Who were the Colorado Avalanche?
They were the Winnipeg Jets, weren't they?
No.
The Nordiques.
Nordiques.
Yes.
Go back Nordiques.
Yes.
I went too quick.
The
They were
Nordiques.
the Quebec Nordiques.
Good job, Bray. I'm so happy you got
Hey, man,
that.
you know what? You my guy, so I couldn't
So
let you
happy
down.
you got that.
The only part of me that doesn't want Tampa to win, and this is the only part of
3 in a row?
Yes.
Last team to do it?
Do I really
Islanders.
want this Tampa Bay Lightning to become the 4th team ever to win 3 cups in a row? Do the Tampa Bay Lightning deserve to be in that hockey
royalty?
The only reason why I don't have a problem with it is because guess who constructed that team?
Stevie Y.
That's the only reason why I let it slide.
Guess who was the original owner? Well, you got Phil Esposito.
Phil Esposito?
Yeah, Phil Esposito
Oh.
founded the Tampa Bay Lightning.
I did not know that.
And he's now their color commentator.
Yeah. Either way.
I think he still owns a piece.
And then quickly, guys, again, Game 6 of the NBA Finals. Braylon, you have not had a chance to comment on the last 2 games, really, that have been played. Just, I know you have thought that Golden State was going to win in 5. Do they get it done in 6?
They get it done in 6 because at the end of the day, if they lose this game, I think they're in trouble. I think, you'll see what happens. Excuse me. If they lose this game, it's trouble because they're trying to figure out the lineup, with Draymond Green. Let's take a step back and answer that question. Draymond Green is an abomination in terms of how he's playing. I think for so long, Draymond Green was able to escape under the guise of the heart and soul of the Golden State Warriors, the aggression, the energy, the dirty work, the things of that nature, because the Golden State Warriors were so far ahead of the league. Like in terms of shooting the 3-ball, in terms of the tempo and the pace in which they ran with, nobody could keep up with the Golden State Warriors in 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and you can say 16 they lost, but we know what happened with Draymond Green and Andrew Bogut getting hurt. With that being said, now that people have caught up, now you're looking at a Jason Tatum and a Jaylen Brown that can shoot and defend and get to the rack and quick. Marcus Smart now is a Draymond Green, but not only is he defensively good, he can score points in bunches as well. I think now he's a handicap for the Golden State Warriors, and to be honest, if they weren't so loyal, because I assume that's what's going to happen, I don't know if I would keep Draymond Green on that squad moving forward. I would move forward without him because now he is a handicap and a hindrance. But yes, they do win tomorrow night.
I think this is their last stand.
I agree.
I don't think you're going to hear from the Warriors after this run. I don't.
I disagree.
I think it's the East from here on out.
I love the East. I think the East has a chance. I think you still have Memphis. You still have Dallas as a player away. You still have not Golden State, but you have
if
Denver has some people back.
If Dallas could put somebody
That's
next
why they're
to
a player
Luka.
away. So I don't think it'll just be that. But Golden State will still be there because next year they'll develop Kuminga. Next year they'll allow Looney more time in one-on-ones. I'm telling you, they'll still be there. But I think this may be their last stand, to your point, in terms of a championship run.
Correct.
Yeah.
I like I said, I hope it goes 7, and I hope it's a great game.
I do think it goes 7.
But you might be right about that, Max, because if you look at it this way, Draymond Green, the secret's out.
He's done.
He's not a good player. You don't have to cover him. I've been saying that forever. You don't have to cover him, which adds 2 guys on Steph when he shoots, which adds 2 guys on Clay when he shoots. Also, Clay Clay's not the same player. And I understand that we saw a sample.
He's playing hurt.
And I was just about to say, I understand we saw a sample size. Next season, he'll be able to really be in a rhythm, and then we'll give him a fair assessment. But I think his head is shot.
You know it.
And I think Clay is done. Draymond's done. So
Draymond's too busy now with this mic.
He cares more about the podcast than
Next
just
act.
in-game.
Next act.
That's it, man.
Next act. No
you see
doubt
him
about
doing
it.
the TNT stuff. You know that he's next. He's the one that's
He's
replacing
very
Barkley.
good.
He'll absolutely
He's
replace
replaced
Barkley.
Barkley,
Or Kenny Smith.
They say Barkley because
Oh,
Barkley said after next year.
Oh, really?
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
It's like under the wraps, but after
Wow.
next year.
What
After
a
next
loss
season.
that would be.
Yeah. Guys, we are going to take a break. When we come back, Maz's videos of the day. You got some good ones today. I'm
Already?
really looking forward. Yeah, that's it. One more segment.
All right.
Look at that.
Sounds good.
But first, a message from Cintron. Sorry,
All right.
Bray.
Oh no, you good. I was over looking at the
I was
looking at the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame. I'm waiting to see my
Same.
Nah, shout out to Shane Battier and Chauncey Billups. They just got inducted to
When are
Michigan
you
Sports.
going into the Michigan Sports Hall?
You know what? We'll figure that out at the right time. That's
Okay,
not for me to decide.
at the right time.
The
Seriously,
summer of
what more does a guy
Cintron.
got to do around here?
I don't know, man. Maybe I donated the money to the wrong people. The summer of Cintron is here, and now Cintron is available at Kroger. See select Kroger locations at CintronWorld.com. Proud partners with the Detroit Pistons, the Detroit Red Wings, and the Tigers. Go check them out. 2 for $4, the energy drink that is Cintron Cranberry Classic and sugar-free. Drink it, live it with Cintron.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Make sure you're listening to Woodward Sports all day long. Start your morning with the Morning Woodward Show. Spend middays with Big D Energy. Watch and listen your drive home with the Bottom Line. And don't forget about Woodward Bets Daily. All live, all right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, gang! Final segment of the program. What?
Yeah.
How do you finish the rest of the day here in 95-degree heat, 105 degrees of?
I tell you what, not outside.
No,
Not outside.
Not outside.
Hey, and I tell you this, man. Power to the people that went to support these bum Tigers on a 95-degree gray. You got to give them some love, man. Those are what you call fans.
Should have gotten free beers today.
They should have got free
beers
everything.
at the ballpark.
Free entry.
Yeah.
And a free ticket to a game that maybe they could be in.
In the future.
Yeah.
Time of the day, we like to play
Maz's videos of the day.
And now it's time for Maz's Videos of the Day. Only on the Woodward Sports Network.
All right, the first one I'm going to take you out for a little Boston Chowda report, out for the little Boston news report. I guess Ryan might have been on this one if he had been out in
would have
Boston.
been on it.
They probably would have sent you out on
Man
this
on
one.
the street.
This is a market basket. This is like a Kroger out in Boston. So it closed on a road called Boston Road. You get that? Market basket closed on Boston Road
Boston
in
Market.
Boston. You got all of that?
Boston Market.
Check this out.
For years, Billerica was like the capital of Market Massachusetts. They had one on Boston Road, another one on Boston Road, and also one on Boston Road. But now the one on Boston Road is closed as the landlord won't renew the lease.
I actually cried, and I cried walking down the aisles last week.
That's Peggy, a customer I found at the Market Basket on Boston Road.
It felt like I lost a part of my family or something.
Maria's worried that all the customers from Boston Road will flood the location on Boston Road.
Well, that's going to make this one a heck of a lot busier, that's for sure.
And Carl's upset that he's going to have to start going to the one on Boston Road.
I don't like change. I told my kids that dinosaurs didn't become extinct by accident. They saw the future. They said, screw this, let's go to the top it.
Bill, on the other hand,
If that's all they have to worry about in life, they're doing pretty good. That's all I can tell you. You kidding me?
from the mechanical horse in front of Market Basket, Matt Shearer, WBZ, Boston's News Radio.
There you go.
On Boston Road.
Boston. I'm crying there.
Boston
If
Market.
that's what they have to worry about over there.
Yeah, that's all you got there? The dinosaurs are extinct there.
The dinosaur said, screw that, I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. Is that what they have to worry about at Joe Sacco's? I'm at Sacco's place. This guy's wearing a
Hey, listen.
shirt at Sacco's place.
Hey, this next video I got here, I wrote myself a note. It says, beer me, and then I said, And never mind. I really don't know what the hell I meant by this, but let's give it a look. That's funny.
That was funny.
Is funny, and I think that's what we should do with videos of the day. Should not be sports videos anymore.
So we don't get in trouble anyway.
It just should be like these kind of videos.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I'm glad you appreciate that.
I like
that
it.
was funny.
Yeah. How about you just take what I give you?
No.
Like that. That's what he was doing, trying to take what he gave him.
No, thank you.
That's funny. Look at this guy. Splashing
He was
all over
smiling
himself.
too. He was excited until he realized what he was doing.
Here's a young man training to be Bruce Lee. Young Bruce Lee in training.
Oh my God!
So he can do all that. Meanwhile, when I was young, I struggled at tetherball.
Isn't that something?
Oh my God,
Dude, you know, I watch these videos and I'm like, and then I compare it to my kid.
I know.
That's like,
Our kids have no chance.
no chance.
No chance.
None.
it's like, man, get off your butt. Go do something. These kids out here kicking cans on
off
a
that
rubber
iPad.
band.
Our kids didn't fall off the Edwards tree.
No.
I
Hey,
can tell you
by
that
the
for
way,
sure.
I'm 8
Lot of
likes
ass
away.
whoopings on that,
We're
Edwards.
8 likes away from 150. Can we get
Oh,
150 in the next
150.
6 minutes?
Come
Can we
on,
get
help us
150
out.
in
We
the
got
next
you
6
Zeke
minutes?
today. We got you Isaiah
Give me
Thomas
150.
today.
The
Hit that
Sox
like
have
button.
150 hits today.
Who?
The Sox got
No
150
kid.
hits today.
13-0. Tucker Barnhart on the mill.
Oh, baby. All right, this one is I guess
Maybe they put Alavila out there, man. He gets drilled by one.
this guy wanted to be Lance Armstrong, but he has absolutely no chance to become the next Lance Armstrong.
None.
Check him out.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Oh my God. What?
Oh my God, that's not funny.
Oh no. Oh.
That's not funny. That's funny.
Oh my God.
I'm struggling if that's funny or not.
Struggling. I could top that one.
What I will say is this,
You
though.
can?
Is
I can.
He actually is ahead of Lance Armstrong because at least he could qualify
Ooh.
for the Tour de France.
Wow.
There you go.
Lance just pushed it a little too
Joke's
far.
hurt.
He pushed it a little
No,
too
he
far.
was a douchebag.
He was the man,
and a
though.
prick.
Oh, I
know.
hated Lance.
Like,
I always
all he had
hated
to do-
Lance Armstrong.
All he had to do was take care of one person, and none of that would have got out.
Always hated Lance Armstrong. I'm cool if you are just a liar and a cheat, but don't go ruining somebody
Right.
else's
You
life
can't
in the
do that.
process.
You can't do that.
And
You know
hey,
what I mean?
Karma's a you know what?
That's
Because
right.
he ended up, what was the guy that won after Floyd Landis?
Yeah.
Floyd said, "Oh, you don't want to help me out? I got something for you."
That's what's
Yep.
up.
And he wrecked a lot of people's lives.
And bankrupted
And still
him.
lying about it, though. Did you watch the Lance Armstrong
Oh, yeah.
special?
Sure
He
I did.
still won't admit to anything he did. I watched that special. Usually when you watch something like that, you're supposed to, at the end, see somebody learn a lesson. Like Marion Jones, they go through it, they learn a lesson. They get humbled. He's still a dick.
What a douchebag. What do you said you could top that?
I can.
Wow.
Now, that was the worst bicyclist you ever seen. These are the worst divers you've ever seen.
Oh, hey.
Oh, luckily she made the pool, though. She missed being dead by about 3 inches.
Oh, my God.
Watch her head and watch where the pool cement is.
Oh.
I was gonna say something, but it wouldn't be very nice. I'm gonna pull up the comment.
Oh, my God.
I put it to you this way:
I wish I had
if she
slow-mo.
was, I put it to you this way: if she was lighter, she'd be dead.
Yeah, she needed all that weight for the momentum.
It took a little
Helped
further
her out. I gotta look closer here.
Those
oh my God.
Those great videos are from Hold My Beer on Twitter.
Oh my God.
It's a great follow.
We might have to go to Hold My. Oh, you know, it's another good one too. Is the drunken long? It's like a golf one. I send it to you. I send the leech all the
please do.
time. Yeah.
That's all I got for you, boys.
Great job, Maz. Bray, I'll tell you, Tigers down 13-0 in the 9th inning.
Lucky 13.
We'll see if they get shut out or not.
I hope so.
Braylon, it is so good to have you back,
pleasure,
my
brother.
friend. Absolutely.
Go Lightning.
We'll see you tomorrow night. We'll talk, but feel free to get us out of here.
Hey, the Detroit Tigers suck, but you know who doesn't suck? Isaiah Thomas. Shout out to Isaiah Thomas for coming on today. That made our week. Maz, he did a hell of a job with that, man. For my man, Flannel Sam with the cutoff in the booth. Fletch over here, who we put a lot on you today, Fletch.
Yeah, we did, Fletch. Great
will be a lot
job today,
easier.
Fletch.
Great job by you, buddy.
I was mad at you early.
Shout out to Brian Mosallam for coming in.
But it's not how you start.
The locker room
It's how
talk.
you finish.
And that
Love
guy
you.
over there with the golden tie and the golden hair, Ryan Ermanni.
Ooh, wee.
I'm Braylon Edwards, and this is The
Love
Bottom
you
Line.
guys.
Love you too, bud. Like Isaiah said.
Do I just go? I'm not going to drop. Go. All right. Go ahead. 2, 1. Oh, my God. Go. Oh, jeez. Oh, my. Oh. This isn't right. I don't get paid enough for this. Oh, my God.